Amazing. Check out this beast. It's the Numark NS6ii, a professional DJ controller with 4 channels and the ability to have 2 laptops plugged in.
Hello. Well, hello.
Recently I needed to find a small portable controller to take with me to DJ gigs as backup in case anything breaks or their equipment doesn't work. So during these tests I did a quick review of both the Numark DJ To Go 2 and the Numark Party Mix, which you can watch by clicking the cards above. Numark then contacted me and asked if I'd like to try out any of their other controllers, and I instantly asked for the NS6ii, as I've wanted to get my hands on this piece of kit since I first saw it. The NS6ii is a professional DJ controller with 4 channels and loads of features for a great price, so I was really interested to see if it lives up to my high expectations. Let's cover the basics first, as there's loads to get through. It has 2 6-inch platters that feel great to the touch and are quite good for scratching on. Both have a brilliant little colour display giving you info like platter position, BPM and time remaining, which is great as you don't have to keep checking your laptop, but sadly no artwork or waveforms. The pitch controls are really long, which gives them great precision and feel sturdy and heavy. However, I would like them to have a groove notch at 0 so I can just feel when I'm back at 0 without looking. Next to them is a button to switch the platters to scratch mode. There are 4 nicely sized volume sliders that correspond to the 4 channels and can be assigned to either side of the crossfader through an AB switch. Each channel has high, mid and low EQs as well as a gain and filter. All the knobs feel well made, but the filter knob really is a thing of beauty. Channels 3 and 4 can be used as inputs for external devices like turntables or CDJs and have a little switch to swap between line and phono. The NS6 has 2 mic inputs with independent high-low EQs and level knobs, as well as a headphone jack for both 1/4 inch and aux cable connections with accompanying level and mix knobs. The crossfader itself feels nice and light and good for scratching and is easily replaceable. This is a feature all turntablists love, as crossfaders wear out multiple times before the rest of the unit if you scratch a lot. Along the top we have 2 rows of 4 knobs to control the effects, as well as a full array of buttons to help you locate and choose tracks directly from the controller. Another really nice feature is the shift button, which when pressed accesses a whole secondary layer of functions that are written below each button in red. In the upper section of the controller we find not only the master volume knob, but a booth monitor volume, which when playing in a club is not only a nice added extra but an absolute necessity. This leads me on to one of my favourite things about this controller, which is the fact that it not only has master and booth out as RCAs, but also 2 master XLR outs. This means you can plug this controller in everywhere from a home setup to huge professional rigs without needing an additional mixer. You can turn up pretty much anywhere with just 2 cables and know you won't have a problem, which is another must for professional DJs. Lastly, on the back is the power button and input for the power pack, which has an infuriatingly short cable. There are 2 buttons to switch between decks 1, 2, 3 and 4 and a strip search touch bar that enables you to slide to any point in the track with a swipe of your finger. I love this feature as it speeds up searching, and also if you want to rewind to the start of the song, it makes it really fast and simple. So now we're getting to the really exciting features. Firstly, this controller can have 2 laptops plugged in, so not only can you play back to back with another DJ, but you can also swap really easily when the next DJ turns up without any downtime. You can simply switch back and forth between laptops at the press of a button. Next we move down to the 8 customizable pads which sit alongside play, cue and sync buttons. My one gripe is that I'm used to the pads being laid out in the same manner on each deck, whereas on the NS6ii, Numark have mirrored the setup, which confuses me a little as I keep instinctively pressing the wrong button. The pads themselves have a massive array of customizable features. Far too many for me to go into in depth here, but you can scroll through cue, auto, loop, sampler and slicer. You can also use the parameter adjust and shift buttons to access even more performance features like slicer loop and loop roll modes. Finally, we have something I've never used before on a controller called capacitive knobs. This means in layman's terms that after pressing the touch button, if you want to cut the bass, you just touch the knob and it's gone, until you let go again. Team this with the ability to turn on the filter roll button and there are so many amazing effects that can be achieved. This is something I'm going to have to play with a lot more and see how I can fit it into performances. So let's do a mix on the NS6ii and see how good all these features really are. I absolutely love this controller. As I mostly use 1210s at home and CDJs in clubs, my experience with controllers is limited, but I have to say, this is far and away the best I've ever tried. Everything feels beautiful. The build quality is amazing and even features metal roll bars, so the knobs on the front don't get damaged when you lift it up to plug things in. It's got so many great features and performance settings that I think it would take me months to get to grips with it fully, but once I have, the performance aspect of it will be spectacular. I can scratch on it, although I find the ergonomics of scratching on anything except vinyl turntables limiting, and it just feels a bit wrong to me. For DJing with Serato, this is an absolute joy, and for the price, I haven't come across anything this well built with so many features and in such a compact size. I do find it slightly too large and heavy to be transported around regularly, but I'd happily have every club in the world throw away their CDJs and replace them with an NS6ii right away. If you're looking for a great all-round controller to use both at home and in clubs, then I would highly recommend it.
Hello. Well, hello.
If you like this review, please click the like button and subscribe, as I'll be releasing loads more DJ reviews, tips and vlogs on the Beatnik TV YouTube channel.